Welcome to Shipping 101 with Zar and Thor. Today we have a vintage porcelain centerpiece. It's rabbits there. It's like an Easter thing. You can see kind of, it's very, very unusual looking. Very odd shaped. It is a little bit large. I'm going to do a quick measure here for you. About 12 inches long and about, just under 10 inches wide and 6.5 inches tall. So the size of this means I'm going to put it in a 14 by 10 by 10 box, which I happen to have one already made up this time. Sorry, no tape gun this time. Made up from previous, something didn't fit in there, so I just kept it around that it was already set up. Boy, this is going to be odd because it is just odd shaped all over. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I think I'm going to put some pool noodles in here. If you look, there's like holes up behind the ears of the rabbits. I'm going to try to see if I can't get some pool noodle in under there very quickly. Just cut this thing in half and just slide that in underneath so that it provides some structure there. One of the best things you can do, that one's a little bit large, so what I'm going to try to do is find another piece of pool noodle that I can put in there, is to, this one's going to have to be a little bit larger. Not quite cut it all the way. There we go, a little bit larger. As you can see, the other piece fit right in there like that. But the whole point is to provide more or less flat surfaces to package with, because boxes are square, right? Everyone, for the most part, boxes are square. And so now we have to try to figure out how we're going to do this. We're going to need some air pillows in there. Fortunately, we stopped over at a friend's house, and she's so nice and kind. She actually makes handmade purses, and we've got a couple of them up on our site if you're interested, but she buys a lot of materials, and so here you can see she gives us her air pillows. We're going to try to make sure we get both of those air pillows down in there. That'll be pretty good, right like that. I mean, it is a little bit of pressure there, but that's okay. Because I'm going to be going around, I'm going to be wrapping it in bubble wrap now, using I've been saying small and large. It's actually 5/16 inch bubble. Here you can see.
I'm going to put air pillows in the top too.
I might put air pillows in the top, but I don't know yet. I may just use the bubble here as it ends up to kind of fill it in. There we go. I'm going to have my handy dandy assistant put some on there. Okay, now we're good that way. Now I'm going to take and put thin bubble wrap around the edge because it's just 12 inches wide and my box is 14, and if I use my foam padding, that it might actually impinge upon this sitting well in the box. It might, the thicker foam, the thicker bubble wrap might cause me some issues that way. And that's 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches. I'm thinking I'm going to need about 4 feet of bubble wrap. I kind of do the math in my head as I'm looking at things. And I might go around it like that instead. That might actually have been a better choice. Let me see if that works better. To wrap it this way rather than around the bottom. And I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to try to get that bubble wrap kind of put together. And that actually worked better, it looks like. So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. And then we're just going to apply a piece of tape just like that. And now we just tape it around a little bit to make sure that we get it all nice and neat. got some flyaway here. I'm going to pull that down again this way. Looks like I pulled my bubble wrap just a little bit. So we're going to grab some tape around the top. And what it looks like I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and take some more thin bubble wrap and just wrap the top of this. Then I'm going to have my assistant kind of give me some tape there on the end. There's one. I'll get some tape on this end to help cover that exposed edge. And now I'm pretty good here. I'm going to just do like this, where I'm going to run the tape right around the pedestal portion to help get it all together. If you have someone who can help you while you're doing some of this, that can always come in handy. So there we have it. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm not too worried about this. I'm not going to tape it down just yet because I'm going to put some pool noodle around it. Very much, here we go. We've got some orange that was already cut in half from a previous adventure. You can see I'm trying to get it so that it will fit right around the lip of this particular item, and try to get it to center here on this side just a little bit. There we go, that's pretty good. I'm going to wrap it from that side. I'm going to look for my big old shears, which is so much fun. I found these at an estate sale. Never thought I'd love scissors so much. And here we go, we're just going to put some tape right on there. And then we're going to just make sure we tape that down nice and well. We're going to put that there to give it some structure, so I didn't put any air pillows in there. And now we're going to just tape right around the whole thing, right around that whole pedestal. And then we're going to tape it this way as well. I would rather err on the side of too much protection and having it get there than not. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a couple of pieces of pool noodle here, and I may be putting some along this foot of this pedestal as well. I'm going to see if I have some pieces, which I do. I have a couple of pieces here, so I'm going to cut that in half and just try to put that over the noses of those rabbits, because they kind of stick out just a little bit. Even though they're covered in bubble wrap, I want to make sure that they are going to be protected. And I'm just going to take that piece, cut it down a little bit. You can see there it's going to fit right from the edge, right up over the nose of that rabbit. And my lovely assistant here is going to help me get that put on. I'm going to turn it the other way. We're going to put another piece right there, and you can see that we're getting that just put right on. So now we have that done. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to protect this foot a little more. I'm going to do two pieces of pool noodle. One of them, it looks like I've got one here, part of that half size, and then I'll just have to cut down some more pool noodle. My assistant is taping the ends, and then we'll tape it around the whole thing again, because you can never have too much protection when you're talking about shipping ceramic, glass, breakables, things like that. You can see here, I'm just cutting my pool noodle in half. Take off the little sticker there. Bring down another half. Now I have two halves of my pool noodle here. Now we're going to put one more piece around the outside. And I know some people say that just is just awfully colorful. Sometimes it is. You know, sometimes I get all the same pool noodles, sometimes I don't. We're just going to go ahead and get that taped on to the other side of the pedestal here, the other side of that foot. And now we're just going to hit it with tape. And that's going to try to help keep that in place. And a lot of the edges that would be, a lot of the edges that you can feel, they are protected. You can't feel them. Anything that hits is going to hit a pool noodle, it's going to hit packaging. We should be pretty well that way. It should be ready to go in the box. So we're going to bring the box up. We're going to test it out to see if it still fits. Oh, that's going to be a little bit tight. But there we go. We can still get that into the box. The edges are pretty well protected there. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put some foam padding on the bottom. It's a 10-inch box, so we're just going to cut it down to 10 inches. You can see there's the foam padding. I'm going to cut it right about here on my foam padding. Once again, I typically cut across the entire pad the same distance so I don't get those weird weird cutouts that you can get if you take, well, I just need a 6-inch for this, I just need a 10-inch for that. This way we have pieces that are very much all the same size. Now we go ahead and just put that in there. Yeah, no, it's really pressing up against the sides here. I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah. I'm feeling to see if the box is going to be big enough, and I think it is. I'm going to try to shift it just a little bit in the box. This is a really odd size of item, so I'm concerned that it's now too wide for that 10-inch box. Better safe than sorry, I think, is the motto here. And so we're going to get another different size box. I guess I can't use that box yet. I'm going to get a 14. Let me double check the measure here just to see what I've got. That's almost 14 inches. That's 11 and a half. So I'm going to get a 14 by 14 by 14 box. If I can. And that is a big box right there. There it is. 14 by 14 by 14. I'm going to need a 21 inches of tape. For this one, I'm right over here. I'm going to have to get some 14-inch foam on it, which is going to be a interesting challenge. So I'm going to measure that 14-inch foam to the middle of there. And this is one of those things that can happen when you're packaging. Sometimes you think you have the right size, and once you get your packaging done, it suddenly is a little bit more than you anticipated. That's why we have our tape measure, try to measure it beforehand. Now, because this will definitely fit this, I'm going to put it upside down in the box. You can see there that it's actually got quite a bit of space. In this case, I'm going to air pillow it all the way around. And then I'm going to put some more foam on top. I think I'm going to need some better air pillows than these. I'm hoping that they have just enough plump to them to hold it in place. Okay, 14 inch. I'm going to need some, I'm going to cut it down here. And if you don't have one of these tools, you'll want to get one. It's called a box sizer. Lots of places you can get it from. There's the foam going right in there like that. Now I'm going to grab my box sizer, and I'm going to measure down to where it kind of comes to the top of where I want that packaging. And it looks like it's going to be, about 5 inches. So we've got about 9 inches, or about 3 inches of packaging there. Take out my foam, set my box sizer in. Looks like it's just a little bit long at 5. I'm going to bring it back to about 4 3/4. Now I'm going to run that box sizer just along the edge there. It creates a perforation. And then I'm going to need another air pillow for over there. I think I just popped one. I'm now going to take my knife, and right where that perforation is, I'm going to just stick the knife in, and I'm going to cut the corner of the box. And that's going to allow me to size this box so that it holds this in place really nice and tight. Thank you, my lovely assistant. There's that other air pillow going in right there. And there you can see that we've got that box all cut. I'm going to fold these in, and oops, I'm going to put my foam in. Somebody mentioned that. Foam in first, fold the box down. You can see that it's really nice and tight. Then I'm going to fold the top too, and you notice that it overlaps, and some people will say, well, just do that. I prefer to do this. I just take my knife and I just cut straight across, and you'll notice now that those two edges will meet up. And I just need a 21-inch piece of tape. It's going to meet up on those two edges. Now, because this is such a large box, I'm going to get 2 more pieces of tape, because right here is a seam that the box had, and I'm going to strengthen that with a piece of tape. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. Now, that is packaged, no movement. Sounds really nice and solid. I'm going to go ahead and measure it here in just a minute so I know how large it is, because that's going to be a big deal. It's a heavy box. But there you have it. Packaging a very odd shape. First box didn't work. We had to get a new box, so that was kind of a one of those things that happens when you sometimes package things. So please stay safe, stay healthy, and this is Zar and Thor signing off. Make sure you subscribe and like and comment. Please ask any questions here on the channel.